Okay, we're on the right thing. Here we go, guys. Give a round of applause for DreeMon. Hey!
Oh yeah,
Hey.
I love that. I
Oh.
love that so much.
Oh. Thank you so much, Dree. I appreciate you coming on and bearing witness to whatever just happened there. That was.
My face is frozen. Oh,
Is
there
it,
we are.
are you frozen? Oh, okay. I'm glad it's not
No,
frozen. You're good. I think
it was for a second in a really funny position.
I love those. I love those. When you're hanging up with a friend and it just gets caught in the, or you talk to somebody, and it just happens. Oh, I see glitter. Thank you for the go glitter. I appreciate it. But oh, I had it so low. That's what happened. Look at me. Look at me. So we're doing a couple new things. So excuse me while I just sit here and flounder. Okay, what's up, Wizard? What's up, Whispering Glitter? Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate it. I've been trying to show everybody your new alert, but I've been failing the whole time. But Dree's here, so that's all that matters. Dree, thank you so much for coming on the show. I sincerely appreciate it. How have you been? I know you just woke up. Is this early morning for you?
Well, thank you so much for having me, first of all.
No problem.
But yeah, well, I'm on musician time,
Yeah.
who knows what that is. Musician time mixed with quarantine time, mixed with, I don't know. And every day is different.
Right.
I'm not a riser. No, I'm not.
No, it's okay. I completely understand. Like the musician time frames, it spans all the way into the evening sometimes. So I completely get it. I mean, like when you're used to gigging all the time, well, when we were gigging constantly, I don't know how I know you've been doing some live gigs, but you were gigging more before the pandemic, like a lot of us musicians. And, you get used to being up till like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and then you're wide awake because after a gig, you're all buzzing and stuff.
You're hungry.
The nighttime just seems to be the right time, right?
For sure. I realized that because I was just having a conversation with a good friend, and we were talking about like, oh, can we start things like big things later in the night? Okay, it's 9 o'clock and I start writing a song now, or it's 9 and I start working on a project. And I'm that way. Like I can. So I think that's just my chronotype, like I seem to thrive more like later in the day and in the night.
Yeah, no, me too. It's like, well, lately it's been weird because I don't know what happened. I mean, I've been starting to turn into an early riser for whatever reason. Maybe I'm just getting older. I'm so happy. This is the best stream. Thank you, Whispering Glitter. I appreciate it. Yeah. It just, I've been getting up early, but ever since the pandemic, I've been just not sleeping well at all, and I like this morning I was so freaking tired that when I stood up, like the weight of gravity just like it was painful. Like it hurt. Like when I was like, oh, like just my body, like I don't know, it's like a kind of discomfort that I can't even describe. And that's just how I've been going for months now. Yeah, so I mean, and then I go to bed early, and then I wake up super. It's insane. It's insane. So how has your sleep patterns been? Like, I know you're saying quarantine and musician time and stuff. Has your sleep schedule gotten a little off?
Yeah, it's definitely gotten off. I mean, and like, not to laugh, but I totally identify with what you're saying. It's like all over the place, and I don't know. Like for example, like last night, like yeah, I want to be awake. I want to be alert. But like for some reason, I get in the bed. It's probably like around 1:30 or something like that. So I'm like, okay, it's 1:30 a.m. Like this would be a good time now to just be done, right? But no, I got to read. I got to read this book that I'm reading. So, I'm like, it's my reading time. So I got to read for like an hour and then I'll go to sleep. So it's like I'm always like trying to be productive. But the thing that's really productive, which is sleep, I like avoid.
Yeah. No, do you find that like reading is the reading time something that you just have to do, or is it something that's more like this is how I can go to sleep, or otherwise my brain runs wild? I mean, or is it a combination of all that? I don't.
No, I'm just like straight psycho. Like the thing is, like for me, like if I'm reading a book, I will not feel good about my life if I'm not putting effort. So if I'm like, I got this book, I bought it on Amazon, like I paid for this book, it's a really good book, and I'm not like reading it,
Yeah.
then I will get upset.
Yeah, no, I feel yeah. It's just like I bought it, I paid for it, I'm reading this. It's
Yes,
happening.
yes.
No, I feel that too. I feel that too. But for me, like I'll easily just bail on something. It's like I don't care if I paid for it. I'm bailing because. But that's just me. But so when you so then you have it's almost like a ritual. Like this is your reading time. This is when I do it, and that's every day.
It's not every day, but it'll just be, a kind of, I don't know. It's like you kind of look at like all the things that you want to do, right? There's so many things.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, this is one of the things. So when can I fit it in?
Right.
2 a.m., 2 a.m. on Thursday night. Let's pencil it in. Like it's happening. So
Let's pencil it in. Which is funny that, when the pandemic hit, everybody's schedules opened wide, like pretty much everything got locked down. So everyone's schedule is wide open trying to fill it. It's funny how musicians will see an opening and just need to fill it as soon as possible.
yes.
Let's jam pack our life with let's find stress that we can get ourselves into. But I mean, it's good stress. It's good stress, because we get to do what we like to do. So it's not like it's, this is a good job, right? Like being a musician is a great job, so. Oh, she's.
It is.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, no, I love it. Oh, so what book are you reading right now then?
So, well, I saw that you had that hat that you were posting up. So, it's actually by the one of the three creators and organizers of Black Lives Matter.
Oh, okay.
Patrice Colors Brignac.
Mm-hmm.
And so, actually, it's called. I just want to make sure I say the name of it correctly. It's really good, you guys. It's called When They Call You a Terrorist.
Oh.
And I just got to tell you something. So this is a crazy full circle moment for me. So,
let's hear it.
So this lady, Patrice, she's just like, she's in my age range. We're not going to say what that is, but she's in my age range, and she has this story. She grew up in the San Fernando Valley, which is where I live, where I grew up, and I realized as soon as I started reading the book that I've met this lady before.
Oh, wow.
I've met her when I was in high school. She was really good friends with someone I went to high school with. They ended up going to different high schools. And like, it's so crazy to read about someone having the story that like has so many things that you would have thought were similar. And in those days, like we went to art schools, we were in dance programs together, different schools, different everything. So it was like this whole like full circle moment. And I'm like, holy crap, but like her story was so different, which is what led her to creating Black Lives Matter. And it's such a great book. It's such an important book. And I just, just to take a minute, like if anybody needs any clarification or is wondering what the movement's about, like really read this book.
Well, so how far are you in it? Did you just start, or are you pretty deep into it?
I'm deep. I'm like nearing the end.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm actually a little confused about some of the things because the only real reading I've done with what's up, your favorite today? Can you please put the title and author in chat? Yes, mods, could you please do that? But no, because there's obviously a lot of controversy around Black Lives Matter. Like a lot of people are everybody's mad at each other right now, right? I don't know why your video stopped. I'm gonna try turning. Will you try turning your camera off and then turn back on?
Oh, sure.
I don't know. I don't know why you froze. It might be me, honestly. I don't know.
It could be my interwebs.
Our interwebs. I know, Whispering Glitter. We're trying to figure it out. Thank you, though.
Wait, did that turn off? Okay, I
I
turned
did
it
turn
off.
out. Oh no, you're seeing behind the curtain.
And I'm gonna turn it back on.
Boom. Oh,
Did it help?
it's helped. I mean, it did something. We're doing things. Oh, there you go.
Uh,
That's okay. It's okay. You know what? I mean, we'll talk through it
oh
next.
my, oh
But
my god, technology.
well, that's interesting that you read the book because there's a lot of people. Obviously everyone's fighting about something, and it's a very dismal time, but a hopeful time in this country. So the big things that I was curious about, and since you read the book, I was curious. A lot of people think there's a lot of controversy about the family unit. You hear a lot about like why is Black Lives Matter against the family unit, and I'm just curious since you just read the book, what
Huh?
the author has to say about it.
I guess the family unit. I guess I didn't really pick up on that. I
Yeah,
mean, there
well,
is like a little bit more to go in the
yeah,
book.
hmm
So, right now it's kind of getting to the inception of the organization of what
mm.
became
Okay, so
Black Lives Matter.
this isn't
But
like the BLM
it's
handbook. This is just her
no, no,
thoughts and
no. This
idea.
is literally her entire like story and what's happened to her and
Gotcha.
people known.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, but she I haven't seen her say anything specifically about that, and I'm not aware of the
No.
controversy surrounding it.
Oh, that's okay.
So
And we don't even have to go there, honestly, because I mean, I want to know about you. Tell me about yourself with the lineage of your music. Like, do you have a family full of musicians? Did you start? Well, actually, I read somewhere that you were actually started as a dancer, so that's interesting. But let's get there. Do you have a artistic family? Do you come from an arty family?
I so actually no. So there was a couple key people in my life that influenced me. Um, but to be honest, I don't come from a musical family or a family that was like equipped for any of this. Like everything I wanted to do from dancing to anything in the arts has been completely like me like begging and kicking and screaming like I want to go to dance class, I want to
Oh,
do this, I want to be involved with this. And they agreed, they acquiesced to it. It wasn't like there was a real like, support for it.
uh-huh.
Like um I didn't have dance moms, I didn't have, any of that stuff. Like I was basically like taking buses to like go to all these places and just making myself like inserting myself in the scene to get kind of where I wanted to go
Wow.
from a really young age. But I did have an influencer, which was my sister, one of my older sisters, now husband, who is a musician and he's a composer. And so even though we're not blood related, he definitely rubbed off on me with the music. And when I was 11 years old, I had like one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And my sister and her husband John, they took me to see Rent in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see it with the original cast.
Oh shit, that's
And
tight. Hell yeah.
and so that was like kind of it for me. I mean, I think that's really where I got the bug for music, even though I didn't really do music till many, many years later.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to do something with this.
Yeah, yeah. So when you so then were your parents more like a very like you need to go to school? Did they have like a very regimented thing for you, or was it just they just not supportive and
They were just loose,
loose?
they were loose,
Gotcha.
like, do what you want kind of.
Gotcha.
I think my mom, she really like, but I was really just kind of raised with my mom. Like my dad wasn't around in the sense of like, speaking of familial units,
Yes.
he was not like not there, but I mean, sorry dad, but yeah, I was raised by a single parent. So
Mm-hmm.
basically it's like um my mom, she only could do so much,
Of course.
because I was a
Yeah.
strong-willed person,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't really have like all the tools and the support, I think, to like discipline or whatever. I think it was kind of like I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do this now, and then if she was like, no, I'd be like, okay, bye, and then that was it. So that was
It's like I told her what I was going to do.
yeah, it was.
No,
Very LA world, I guess. I
well,
don't know.
I mean, well, no, like that, that's a hard situation. A single mom, and that's not easy. And honestly, just to sort of touch back, and we don't have to stay there, but like the controversy around what I was talking about with BLM was, they say that they're trying to break up the family unit, but really, what I gathered from what I've read is that they're trying to show more support towards single mothers,
Mm.
and like social programs, and having community helping raise this baby, because it's a community based idea. So they're just it's just it's weird. I'm still unclear about it. That's why I was curious, since you were reading the book. Maybe she gave a little more detail about it, because the website gives like one paragraph, and all I could like disseminate from it is that they just want to help single mothers and not encourage the what do they call that, the standard issue of what a family unit is. Looking at a family unit in different ways than just man, girl, children. It goes beyond that, right? It's not just that spectrum. And so I guess they're saying that because they promote that they're trying to rip the family apart, and I don't think that's the case at all. I think that's a little overstatement. I'm
I
sorry.
think that what I think your assessment and your guesstimate is correct. Like just from
Maybe. I
what I
don't know.
know about it, the thing is that the creator, Patrice, like she first of all, she's bisexual, queer,
Mm,
and so her family unit might look different
exactly.
now. A traditional family unit, there's always going to be
Exactly.
people
Tradition.
that riot against that and oppose that, so they
Mm,
want to tear it down. And also looking back into growing up in the family unit that she had, and what is typical of a lot of people like her
mm.
is that there is not two parents there,
Right.
and parent is in prison, or one parent is, and so I think that giving that, she probably does want to give the support to the people that are in that situation and say, there's this isn't okay, but if this is what we're dealing with, then let's support that,
Yeah, let's expand. Let's help people so they don't get left behind and falling through the cracks of society, and that's
Exactly.
what that's what I really appreciate about the movement, is the bringing the attention to the shit needs to change, right? Like, there is some things that fundamentally need to change, and that's what's great about it. There's some things I don't exactly agree with, but I don't agree with everybody, and you don't have to. That's the thing, you know what I mean? You don't have to agree with every aspect. So, tell me more about your sort of mentor. So, what did they? You said that they were a musician and that they sort of helped guide you in your paths. Like, what are some like major things that they helped you sort of realize?
Well, you know what? It was first it was rent, and then I was doing my thing. I went to an arts high school.
Hmm.
Um, I was there for dancing, and then I loved singing, and all this stuff happened. Then basically, like, this craziness happened. I ended up not going to the school anymore. I ended up needing to finish school on my own, in a homeschool situation,
Oh.
where I was my own teacher. And then basically, once I kind of was in that zone, um, and I had like overcome a few obstacles, some major obstacles, I was basically given the opportunity to sing, do some session singing on a CBS TV show,
Oh, sweet.
uh, which was like unreal.
Yeah.
And I was only,
Yeah.
I was young. I wasn't even like doing music, but I was always singing. And it ended up going so well that I was like, okay, this was another little like drop in the bucket. Like, this is another sign that I have to get into this at some point, somehow.
Yeah.
So I didn't have like the how, or but I just knew that I needed to.
Yeah.
You know?
Did I feel that a lot, where you just sort. What's interesting about being a musician, and especially if you don't have someone to kind of like guide you through, like, or being an artist in general, it's like you don't really know how to like go out there. You just know you want to do it, but you don't really think beyond like, I just want to do it, right? You just like, I just want to do it. You don't think that like, I have to support myself with this if I truly want to do this. You don't think about, and when no one's really there to tell you, and I especially have this thing against here in America, I can only speak on this, but there is a big I feel like there's a lack of support for the arts and nourishing the arts. I mean, from schools cutting it out of their budgets altogether to some parents or some whoever is taking care of you telling you like go to college, get a real degree so you can have a real job just in case
Right.
you have something to fall back on. So when you inevitably fail at being an artist, so it sort of sets you up for failure before you even get a chance to. And I feel like that really turns a lot of young artists off because it's like you're not really telling them how to do it. You're just telling them that you're gonna fail at it eventually. So figure something else out. So
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. So when you started going into doing music and going and did you start making a living at it quickly in life, or did that come much later?
No, it happened much later
Mhm.
because I didn't know, now I know there's so many avenues,
Right.
with music. There's
Mhm.
so many things you can do. And like, I think also back then, the definition of success and
Yes.
succeeding in music was really different from what it is now.
You're
And
absolutely.
also, it's personal. It's a personal thing,
Yeah.
like maybe you want to be Ariana Grande.
Mhm.
Maybe you want to write music. You want to write instrumentals for production libraries. Maybe you want to stream on Twitch. Like there's so many things that you can do, and you can like combine them and I think it's like there's still a lot of people in that old mindset,
Yeah.
and that's why people will ask, and I'm sorry if anyone out there's ever done that, but they'll ask a singer and they'll be like, "Oh, you're so good. You should go on The Voice. Have you ever considered going on The Voice?" Like
Yes.
that's probably like one way, but it's not the only
Right.
way. And so it's like breaking down those barriers and constantly having to kind of like educate people and educate yourself too, because you forget that there's so many ways to be successful in music.
Mhm.
And so if you get stuck in just one thing, you can easily get discouraged,
Yeah.
because it's like it is cutthroat, and there's different avenues that maybe are not for you or for me or whatever, and that's okay.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. No, I think you hit it right on the head when you're saying like there was a time when what success was pictured as success was cover Rolling Stone magazine, Grammys, or big gold chains, whatever it was. This image of success was just this over bloated music industry who was just I mean we see what happened to the music industry and see what happened. I mean this was just obviously it was a natural progression. They were just an over bloated. I mean, you're there. You're right in the heart of it all. So it's a excuse me. What's up, Snooze Mew? Grammy stinky? Yeah, I guess. I'll take one though. I mean, I'll take a Grammy. So I'm not. But I'll shit talk it until I do. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you know what I mean. And I think that's where people get confused. And I think that sort of ties it together. Where when parents or people who are older than you that you look up to are telling you, go find a job that's solid because you can't depend on art. When they're telling you that, it's because they have that image of what millions of dollars and Grammys and all that shit. They have that picture in their head still, and then
Yeah.
unfortunately they impart that onto young kids, thinking that they're giving great advice when really the best advice for young artists is like, okay, that's great, work on your art, but know that there's a business to this, and that this is a
Yeah.
business, and don't let anybody ever tell you any different. This is
Mhm.
business. This is money. This is how you're gonna live your life. So learn your art, learn it right, learn it, do it the best you can, and just know that if you want to do that for the rest of your life, you're gonna work your ass off. You're gonna be hungry. You're gonna, like you, but you got to keep moving on. And then the more that you build upon your skills, the more that you build upon your networks, the more that you build upon just life knowledge in general, it comes, it happens. And you might not be the most famous person in the world, but to be able to create art and to be able to live off of that, I think in my life, it was the greatest accomplishment I've ever made. Besides my son. My son is the best accomplishment, but that don't take much, right? That's like a couple seconds of me going, ah, and then, that's, so, so that, but, but I love him, and he's like the greatest thing ever. But one of my other biggest accomplishments was, being able to exist with my partner and be musicians, be artists, and live, and make a living at it. And I think that's the most rewarding thing you could ever have. At this point, fame just seems fucking daunting, but whatever. I'll take large sums of money for more attention, I guess. But anyways, I don't know. How does that? Do you agree with that? I mean, do you think that's an accurate assessment? I don't know. I'm rambling.
Yeah. I think what you said, the business of it, like when I started, because you were asking me if I started making money right away, and it was like no. I mean, besides session singing gig, which was dope, there was like a lot of years that passed, and I was dancing, and I was like, maybe like a background in a musical, like dancing with like a little bit of singing, like a tiny voice, no one knew I could sing, kind of thing. And you know what I mean? Like I was really just like paying the dues, but I wasn't necessarily like knowing what to do. Like once I was like, okay, I'm gonna do music. I still didn't know what to do. All I thought was, I'm gonna write songs. I'm gonna get with like a guitarist. We're gonna go and book shows, and that's it. And that's what I do. And I did that for like a few years, and then I was like, okay, I really didn't get anywhere. Like, okay, I'm not going to say like I didn't have amazing times. I didn't play like all the shows. I didn't improve my voice and my performance. Yeah. That's all like necessary. But I was like, what now? And at that point, I was like, do I still want to do this? Because, it's like there's no guidance. There's no roadmap. So you have to seek it out. And then I kind of started getting pulled into different avenues. Like, okay, now I'm just going to focus on songwriting. I'm just going to be a songwriter. And then I kind of got pulled into, I'm just going to write songs for TV and film and commercials. And I got pulled into that. And then I started a new project, which was DreeMon. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. And now I know it way more, Yeah. But like to this day, like I still feel like I don't know anything. But if that makes sense.
No, it does. It absolutely does, because art is evolving. I mean, we're human beings. We evolve constantly, and I feel bad for people who don't. Like, geez. But, like, you grow with it. You grow with your art, and you go where it pulls you, and I feel like you have to go through those exploration moments that I feel like you were talking about. You're like, you had to go explore this. You had to go see it. So I'm curious. So then dancing came first, and then music, or was it kind of intertwined, or?
So dancing came first. It was only intertwined in the sense that I was doing some things on my own privately, like I was writing songs and I was singing for friends in my living room, and maybe, as I said, I was like in some musicals. So I was starting to like edge out a little bit and like dip my toe in the water, but I was not at all. I didn't make a commitment to it until one day when I went to a birthday party in I always tell the story. So I went to a birthday party in Hollywood for my really good friend. She's a super successful dancer. And there was a producer songwriter there who worked on some of my favorite records at the time. I mean, he turned out to be a horrible person, so I'm not gonna name names. But
what was some of the song, or what was some of the artists? So you don't.
Yeah, you guys can look it up. Kidding. Oh. So like he had worked with Music Soul Child. He worked with Jill Scott. He worked with like this random band called like I-15 that I was obsessed with. Their single. He had like done their single. This was kind of like in that mid 2000s, late 2000s kind of era, like R&B pop.
Right.
You know. And I was just like, okay, hi, and he's like, what do you do? And I was like, I'm a songwriter. And then
hell yeah. What are you supposed to say? Shit.
Yeah. And so we got in the studio and we ended up like doing some work. And so that also like, it gave me more of the bug. It gave me some demos that I could later share with people, which legitimized me and actually showed that, okay, this is stuff I've written and I've recorded, and I'm trying to do things. So I
Yeah.
had like, that's what I got out of that, which was very useful. And, that's really when I was like, okay, let me try to do that, try to do this, whatever this is,
So what was the? I mean, I'm still curious about the dancing. What? How far did you take that? And I know there's more to the story, just by reading your bio on your website. But I would love for you to walk through. Yeah, well, I love that. I love artists who've lived like so many lives. Like, I feel like if you haven't lived like 4 lives, what are you doing with your life right now? So like.
Right?
Anyways, please tell me about your dancing career and how you started transitioning and more into music.
Yeah. So dancing was like my whole passion, from a little kid on, and so I mean, a young age, and so basically I took it. I mean, I think I did it, for fun and for professionally. Almost 20 years.
Wow.
I basically had a lot of starts and stops with it, but at the end of the day, I was auditioning. I was going to major auditions. I auditioned for Lady Gaga for her very first single that made her famous, Just Dance.
Nice.
She was in the room with us and talked to us. I went to like a Britney Spears cattle call, and that was kind of the moment where I was like, I might be over this. I danced for like a lot of Latin artists, a lot of Persian artists, a lot of international artists, which was very cool because it took me to like a few different places. And also some really big stages here in LA, like the Kodak Theater and, the Fonda, and some really nice big stages. Yeah. And a lot of like artists that were just like how I am now with, maybe a little more budget. Like I actually danced for a lot of independent artists that just wanted to add dancing to their shows and their music videos, because dancing is such an amazing, like, media. It's just, it really can liven things up, Yeah. And dancers are so like, I mean, talk about musicians not getting credit. Dancers really, hadn't historically gotten any kind of credit.
Yeah.
You
never know. You never know. Like, you only knew J-Lo was a fly girl because I think they said that or something. I would have never known who J-Lo was as a fly girl, like, right. So yeah, man. I absolutely, I don't know very many dancers at all. So that's not my field, but please continue.
Yeah. So it was cool. So, I mean, that was, when I saw all those people, like, independent artists that were adding dancers to their shows, and I was kind of getting a behind the scenes of what they were doing. They had like some cool song and, always dance vibes. We'd go to like Viper Room here in LA or the Troubadour or somewhere local, but like well-known, House of Blues. And we'd be dancing for this artist. Right. And sometimes you get to work with these great choreographers too. Because sometimes they would take on like a lesser known artist, in their downtime. And so I did so many things like that. I was on a TV show, like dancing background for like a variety Spanish TV show, like several of those.
For Univision? I can't.
Yeah.
Univision.
I mean, I was. Right. Yeah. I mean, they were, like on those shows, like at one point you were the dancer, at another point you were the audience member, at another point you were like, you're like, am I going to get paid extra? Because now I'm an actor. And no, it's a flat rate.
Right. Because there's union rules about those things, right? Like you can't, if you're and there's pay grades that changes, because if you're an extra, that's a different from being like a dancer, like a key dancer or a background dancer, right? It's like there's different categories and how they pay you. And so what you're saying is like sometimes they have you going here, going there, and they're not paying you accordingly. Yeah. But that's
a lot of non-union stuff.
Hey, you gotta go where the money is, man. They gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
music videos. Sometimes, like I was in a JTT music
Oh,
video.
nice.
I think you can see my hand. You know,
Your big moment is your head. I love it.
no, and I had like a few better ones, like
Yeah.
where I was more featured. But I did a lot of stuff, and sometimes there were things where they're like, modeling too, which was nothing I ever thought I could do because I was deathly afraid of having pictures taken of me for many, many years,
Uh-huh.
and then I had to get over that.
What?
And
Why? What was? Why were you afraid to take pictures?
I hated how I looked in photos. Like
Mm.
I hated it. I don't know if anybody out there can relate, but
Yeah.
like I had braces. I was like, going through that ugly stage. Like I was just traumatized from like my 12-year-old days. But
No, I
like
feel
I
you.
didn't quite, you know.
No, I feel you. When I was in high school, I was like 300, like 25 pounds. So, like, like I know that you go through an awkward change but I feel like those moments, those awkward moments in life, I feel like that really builds a solid character. If you can if you can wrap your head around it, right? Like if you can get on the positive side of it, of like liking yourself, loving yourself, and being like, I am beautiful. Like I don't, like not the comparisons, like stop comparing yourself type thing, which I still do, and I'm still terrible at all of it. But you work at it, you work at it. So yeah, no, I feel you. I feel that like awkward stage in seeing pictures of yourself. You're just like, oh yeah. But you modeled, and so you must have got over that quickly. Then, well, I mean, as quickly
Yeah.
as someone's like, here's money, I want to take a picture of you.
Right, because when you're in a profession like dancing, and it's so similar to being a musician, it's like you learn quickly how to be a hustler. You learn how to, find all these opportunities and create something out of nothing. Like I remember one time there was an audition, and it was like for an Irish jig or something. I didn't know how to do that. I was like, I could do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I watched YouTube and I figured it out, and that
right,
was it.
right.
Like,
Hell yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. It's like you hustle because it's like, okay, I can do that. What when people are like turning down gigs and stuff, I don't think I can do that. It's like, well, do you want to eat? Then you better figure it out, right?
yes, yes,
Lord,
that gig life.
Lord
So
Beads,
real.
Lord Bleeds, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I was just typing the thank you, but I'm slow typer. It's not good for me. Anyways, yeah. So you were hustling, and modeling came through, and dancing and stuff. So I know I thought I read on your website that maybe there was a medical issues, you couldn't keep going forward with dancing.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, well, basically, you know what I said, that like all this stuff happened in high school. So I actually got hit by a car when I was 15. I was almost 16.
Oh my
I was
god.
walking across, I got hit by a car, just like, yeah, just
Whoa. Like just
um
full on?
yeah, pretty full on. Um and yeah, so that set me back for a little bit. But
All right.
I did end up overcoming and continuing forth
Oh,
and
okay.
going, but it did like, make things harder for sure in a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
ways.
I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm not trying to rehash trauma or anything, but like, what did you like break like lots of bones and stuff? Like, was there a lot? My father was ran over, like his whole left side was completely crushed by a tire. So I'm always not morbidly curious. That's not it. I'm just curious. I mean, you dance still, and you had a career in dancing, so you weren't completely out of it. But I
Right.
was just curious as a young kid, that's a traumatic thing.
It
I'm
was. It
just
was.
curious on like what like was it like a long arduous recovery, or because this shapes you in life, man. These are the type of things that shape you in life. So I'm just
I would
curious.
say so, definitely. I mean, without getting like too like, I'm gonna cry or anything, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm not trying to
seriously.
make you cry.
No, no, it definitely like it did shape me, and like I would say in good ways and in bad ways. Like I think, every kind of hardship, like it's a lesson or a blessing. And so, it was I always find the silver lining in things, and like I always take the lessons from it. And, for me, like I said, I was super independent. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was kind of like, just going. And, it sucks that it happened, but, it actually taught me how to just like step back and pause, because it set me up for, life has those situations. They come at you all the time, right?
For
Or every
sure.
few years or something. And just like now, like being in a quarantine because of a pandemic, it's like
sure.
a lot of people, didn't really know how to deal with that. But I think for me, I was like, okay, I've been here before, I know how to just chill out and just like step back and let things kind of unfold and work on other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really, it did help me in a lot of ways. And I always like try to see the positive,
Yeah,
and yes,
absolutely.
I do dance, and, it's okay. I mean, I have a messed up knee, but it's pretty good. All things considered, like it is pretty good. So, what are you going to do? Like, I'm not going to be in the ballet company, but, that wasn't exactly my trajectory anyway, so it was okay.
Oh my God, this dude, he was an actor in Singapore, and what he says that sometimes people lie, get caught in auditions, like saying they could do martial arts for a film, but they never did a single class. So you just lie. No. And I think what he's referring to is what we're kind of talking about. You just sort of like, you gotta like, yeah, I can do that. But then if you do that too, if you get yourself in way over your head, it could definitely backfire. If you're like, yeah, I can speak Cantonese, hire me, and you show up, it's like, yeah.
It's literally a storyline in a movie. It's like this is real life though.
Yeah. No, you do have to put yourself out there. I feel like when you do that and you put yourself in those moments, for me personally, I feel like I flourish. It's very stressful if I put myself in those situations, but you flourish if you can get through it, right? If you could do it and get through it, you become stronger somehow in some way, and you're in your confidence in your art and just how you perform or whatever your art is. I feel like it makes you a stronger artist, because once you realize you can achieve something or do something, and like it's like, holy shit, I didn't think I could do that at all, but I just did that. Like to look past it is just like you grow from that. I feel like you have to sort of put yourself in those situations to grow. I mean, or at least sometimes. You don't always have to be, do LMAO. Did I say? Oh, I said do. Yeah, do. I got you. Thank you, Lord Bleeds. I appreciate it. Lord Bleeds gets an air horn.
Little things in life.
It's the little thing. It really is. For me, it's just like those small victories, right? It's those small victories that lead in big, that add up to something bigger, and that's what I look for. I mean, the big victories are fun too, right? But you gotta take what you can get. So, so then, I'm curious on how you. Before the pandemic, what was sort of the trajectory? You were doing Dream On. That's your trajectory, because, I mean, you got some music online, and it looks like you're doing well with it, and it's fantastic, and you're working on new stuff too, right?
Yes,
I heard that you're working. We'll get there. But so tell me, before the pandemic, leading up sort of the pandemic, what was your trajectory? What were you doing? What was like your main source of artistry and income? And I'm not trying to ask how much money you were making, but just what were you doing before all this sort of went to shit? Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Well, as I said earlier, like I still don't know what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, who does?
Now looking back, I'm kind of like, did I know what I was doing?
Well, it sounds like a little bit. I mean, you said you were just sort of going with the flow, but then when I hear you talk is like, Well, I was going to major auditions, and I was actually working, and I was actually doing things. So when you look at it from an outsider's perspective, it seems like you kind of knew what you're doing. But I know just by being in that position that a lot of things just sort of end up that way, and you just sort of are going with the flow. So I get it, but I can see how it can be confusing for some, and even for yourself, right?
Yeah, because so much changed, with the
Right.
pandemic changed. And I think for me, like my whole outlook on how I want to move forward has changed as well. But before the pandemic, I was doing a lot of gigs, um, anywhere from 1 to 3 gigs a week, sometimes more. And those gigs were typically similar to kind of what I'm doing on Twitch, uh, doing music, covers, originals, sometimes for people that are there to see you, sometimes for people that could care less, but pretty much just a whole mix of that all over Southern California. And that was one thing that, like, I don't know why, but like I really aspired to do that. Like I really wanted that badly. Like I couldn't play guitar, I couldn't play any instruments like a few years ago. Like when I said I started doing all the shows, I had to always be with accompaniment. Not coming from a musical background or upbringing or training, I had to collaborate with people constantly. I had to hire them. I
Yeah.
was always paying people for something.
Like it's
And
expensive.
it gets really expensive. And then at that point, I was like, maybe I'll just take this money that I'm, paying for these one-off shows and just put it into lessons and just learn how to play guitar. And I kind of did the same shtick. I went to an open mic. I played like the 2 songs that I knew, which at that point, one of them is I Quit. So you guys probably know that song at this point. And well, I don't even remember what the other song was. And they were like, this is great. You want a show here? And it was a totally like guitar place. And I was like, well, those are the only songs I actually know how to play on guitar. And they're like, well, we could book you in like a couple months and you could learn. And I was like, let's do it. And that was literally like the push that I needed.
Wow.
And I learned like 7 songs, and then I came back and I was their featured artist, and I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And I was in regular lessons from there. So I don't remember what the question was, but
Oh, no. That's okay. Well, I love that idea that someone like just loved your performance so much that they were willing to to look past the fact that you didn't have an entire set list. It's like, well, let's just book you in a couple months, get out there and do it. But
yeah.
but that's fantastic, and that's one of those moments like we were talking about where you're like, okay, challenge accepted, right? It's like, let's make it happen, Captain. Let's fucking do this, because if I can do these 2 and then go up in front of a group of strangers and sound however I sound, and then at the on the other side of that have someone be like, I believe in you, go learn that. I mean that's like a perfect example of like of risk reward, right? It's like you took that risk to put yourself out there, learn a new instrument, and you did the shtick, you put it together, and then it pays off. Now you can easily talk yourself out of that, right? It's like, well, I only have 2 songs and I suck at this, and I wish I was a better guitar player. You know what? I'll just hire a guitarist and we'll just do it the old way. It's like, and it's easy to sort of revert back to that because that's what you know. And I think a big part about being an artist is carving new pathways in your head. Like you have to sort of force yourself to do certain things. Like especially example is like a pianist has 2 hands that are doing 2 different things at once, right? And like you literally have to train your brain on how to do that. And so you're constantly carving out these new pathways in your brain that are associated with the art and skills that you're doing, and it's relative to how you live your life as well and how you grow as a person. So you definitely have to be carving out new lanes for yourself in your brain and in music. Lord, from my perspective, Dree is motivated and she's not settling for the norm. Trying many things, some good, some not so good, are all lessons on the road to her dreams becoming reality. Oof, well said, Lord Bleed. What's up, air horns?
Thank you for that. I agree with everything. I mean, some things are not good, some things are great, and you don't know until you try. And even the first song that I released as Dree Patterson, which was my last project, it's called Waiting. And it's all about like not waiting for anyone to do anything for you. Like you have to go and do it yourself. And I think that that's just something that I always believed, and I still believe it to this day. So, I mean, that was just one little example. And I got by a long time without knowing how to play an instrument, a long time. And I was handicapped. I was at a deficit because I couldn't do so many things. And now there's so many more opportunities available to me, like streaming on Twitch and doing all those gigs and being able to make a living from playing gigs. I mean, I'm just thankful that happened and that I stepped up to it. And I guess I thought to myself, like you said, risk reward, what can I lose here?
Yeah.
I felt like I only had to gain. And if I went and I fell on my face, it wouldn't have been the first time. So, who cares?
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. And that's the great thing about this. And I love this video. I was watching, it's from I can't remember his name, but it's the guy from, have you ever heard of the Scary Pockets or Pamplemousse? So that guy,
I love that.
yes. So that guy is also the CEO of Patreon. And so he has this video about, because what you're talking about now is failure, and not in the sense of like ultimate failure, right? We're talking about learning from mistakes, learning, building, and what you said was what was it? It's like God, what did you just say? You were just saying that what did you have to lose, right? Because you've done this so many times, you've put yourself out there so many times that in your brain you've carved that lane in your brain that says, well, I've already looked dumb in so many different ways. What could go wrong, right? And not to call you dumb, I'm not saying that, but like you know what I mean. You know what I mean? That feeling when like, oh yeah, you know what I mean.
Don't make me jumping jacks.
But what I loved about this video was I don't know, I think it was called Patreon or whatever. I forgot his name, but he was talking about all of his failures leading up to his ultimate success. Because now when you look at him, he is, he's the CEO of one of the biggest artist funded platforms on the internet, right? Like Patreon.
Right.
So many people rely on Patreon. I think you have a Patreon, don't you?
Oh, I don't have a Patreon.
Where's your Patreon, Dree? Where's your Patreon? I'm just kidding. I don't have one either.
I know. Someone has been talking to me over the last, somebody, I'm not going to even say who, but somebody from Twitch has been like, you need to get one.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like disappeared. But it's, you know what I mean? They put the idea in my head and I was like, you know what? This is exactly what, okay. So if you want to know like my biggest like fear probably.
Sure.
Is probably doing a Patreon and like no one donating. And you know how I just like said that I've done like all these things that are just like so crazy and scary,
right,
effectively. And it's like, that is like the scariest thing to me. And I feel like that if I do that, I will be like unstoppable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so like, are you saying doing the Patreon scares you?
So I think it's like you want, I think it's basically going like, okay, I'm going to put something out there and people are going to believe in me so much that they're going to support this.
Right.
That is the fear, I think.
That is scary.
That is like the honest fear.
Right. Yeah, because you're asking for support for just doing your art, and then if it doesn't work or if no one wants to support it, and you're just like, there's the embarrassment of that kind of failure. But again, right? Like, how many times have we failed, and how many times have we learned from that? So, I would say get a Patreon, but you do you. You do you how you gotta do you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people could tell you all the things in the world, but if you're not comfortable with that, then why? Like, screw it. It's like it's not the end all be all. Patreon isn't the only way to do this.
It's not the only way, but I think it's kind of like, yeah, I guess that's the thing. It's like if it doesn't pan out, like, and then like, okay, let's say nobody supports, like not one person supports it. You know what I mean? I guess you didn't really lose anything, you just kind of,
Right.
but then you kind of go like, okay, am I making music that people resonate with? Then you start to take it personally. Like, is my music not good? Am I dislikable? Am I, you know what I mean? Am I
Yeah.
turning people off? Like,
Yes.
then you start to take it personally. So I feel like you have to look at it and not make it a measure of your music or of you, but you have to like look at it as, an experiment, like a great experiment. You're curious about it and you just want to have fun with it. And then, hopefully it works.
Hell yeah, yeah, exactly. So here's a question from for the guest. Thank you for redeeming your fresh bars, Lord Bleeds. I appreciate that. Dree, if you could do one thing in your life differently or better, what would it be?
Just one thing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh that loud.
No, I mean,
No, I'm more apologizing to everyone who had to hear that clip out in their speakers. Anyway,
that's too hard to just pick one thing.
yeah, I feel you.
I guess the thing is, it's kind of hard to know because I think I kind of subscribe to the notion that where you are is where you're supposed to be, and so if I did things differently, I don't know that they would, I don't know what would have made a difference because I don't know if, let's say if I would have finished, if I would have gotten my degree, for example, because I was on the road to that and I got my associate's degree, but I didn't finish 4-year college. So if I would have done that, like how that would have impacted me now.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been great. Maybe it would have been useless. Maybe it would have pulled me away in like a completely different direction and maybe I'd be miserable. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? So it's hard to go like, okay, what is the thing? I think, that's like one of those things where I feel like I could have just finished. So I should have, but thinking more about, I had to go off and be a dancer, but thinking more, about like what I could do better. I think just getting involved with everything sooner. Just like, if I know I wanted to do it, like I should have just done it sooner. Like, I think I waited and I was like, I have time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I would have just jumped on things even quicker, like especially music, music things and like learning instruments and just kind of taking that more seriously, like the business and the musicianship aspect of it and not just relying on, oh, well, I'm a great artist and I write cool songs, so that's going to pull me through till the end of days, because I think reality is that, like, as you said, it's a business and there's so much more that you need to know.
Yeah.
And I kind of went with the flow for such a long time and I didn't even entertain those notions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting when people are like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I wrote the songs, but nobody wants them. It's like, well, are you promoting them? Are you reaching out to people? Are you, are you making connections? Are you networking? What are you doing to get this out? Are you just like making songs and then you just let them sit on a hard drive somewhere? So it's definitely one of those things. Like, you can take yourself as far as you want, or you can hold yourself as far as you want as well. What's interesting about the failing and learning from failure, and what I was kind of touching on, and you kind of touched on as well, was the guy from the Scary Pockets and Patreon. He was talking about all the things that he did that failed terribly until he was a success. And he was, what are we missing? I see you laughing. Hold on. 100% marketing is everything. I wish I was better at marketing. Yeah, me too. Well, she didn't realize we could ask questions. Oh, yeah, y'all can ask questions. I love it. I still got to update my photos and reel. Well, get on it, Snooze Mew. We're talking about motivation here, baby. Get on it. But I really love to hear his story because he was talking about, I mean, as a kid, he would make these claymation things, and like he thought that this was going to be the thing, right? Like, this is what's going to do it for me. And he puts all this effort, and for summer after summer after summer, him and his friends make these things. Goes nowhere, right? Like, they film it, and the tapes are in his garage somewhere, and he really thought that this is the thing, right? And then so it's sort of this obsessive nature that artists have. We sort of latch onto an idea, obsess, and then execute or whatever. So the next thing is that he started he was a musician, right? And he's trying to tour, and he's touring around to no avail. He's playing the empty rooms. And then finally, him and his girlfriend at the time, they do a song, and it's a Michael Jackson cover. It's Pamplemousse, and I don't know if you remember it, but it was like one of those like first like YouTube covers to go like really big, and it was just her singing. So like how she sings, I love her voice, and it was just this really cool, simple version of a Michael Jackson song. I think it was "Beat It" or something, and that went viral, right? And this is back in 2009 when YouTube was still this viable thing, and the algorithms were still in your favor. And so after he did that, they were playing the day after they released the video, the day before, I should say, they played this coffee shop, and they had this like normal gig, this regular gig where they played every night at this coffee shop, and the before they released the video, they played to like two people. The next day or the day after that or whatever, they come to the gig and there's 200 people lined up around the building. And so like it was like the first time they saw like how a viral video can lead to a music career. And like I remember that specifically because I remember following these guys like, wow, that's so cool that you can make a career out of just a viral video.
Yeah.
And so he was chasing this now. Now it's like viral videos. This is our career now. And so he not to just, drag on this story. Him and his now wife, but his girlfriend at the time, are trying these videos and failing. And it's just constant, even though they had the success that bought them a house, that bought them a studio, they weren't able to recreate it, and they weren't, like he was still failing at it, and they're still a great band and they still put out great content, but the point is that he was constantly overcoming failure, and he has, but now look at him now. He's like the CEO of one of the biggest artist funded crowdsourcing platforms on the internet. So I guess the reason why I'm saying that, and I think what we keep hitting the over and over is it's like you don't know where it's going. You sort of have to go with it, and you can have a plan, but plans can change, and you're gonna fail at things, but that's okay as long as you're learning from your failures. So it's just this. It's a really hard, bumpy road, and to end up in a situation where you're like, where you can support yourself and you're confident in what you do, and you can walk into a gig and you can grab their attention because you've been doing it so long and you got it down so hard. I mean, and then to live off that, I don't know. It's you don't know where this is going, and you're always going to have blocks in the road. But the beautiful thing about it is the more things you overcome, the stronger you get, and the better you get, and the more confident you get, and the more it just seems to come together more.
Yeah.
So
that's time experience,
yeah.
Going through the failure, and I think going back to that definition of success,
right?
Right.
What
that means to you? And I think someone like, Pamplemousse, like, I guess it could be really hard if you have such a huge success, and then to try to top that and kind of feel like you're never quite getting it, like all those one-hit wonder bands, but are they not successful? That's a question.
Exactly.
Like, to me, I think of one-hit wonder bands, and I'm like, wow, that's so cool that they did get that. Now, I know sometimes you can go into like a deep depression after that, which is very much an artist thing. But, it's like they can still leverage that for pretty much the rest of their lives in some way, even if they never have another hit. And so, I don't know. I say always just be grateful.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with that because, what I think Sir Mix-a-Lot, or like I think he had like one or two hits or something. Who was it? There's artists that just have these one hits and then they have a whole career after that, and it's not on the main stage, but a lot of times it's in production, it's in the background. It's just like people hit these heights, and then after you come down, I'm sure that's a terrible thing. I've never experienced it, so whatever. I can't speak on it too much, but what I gather, it's that's a hefty load to bear. But our original question, to answer your question earlier, what was the question? I was asking you what you were sort of doing before that led up to the pandemic. What you were sort of doing.
Yeah.
It's all good. I write things down because I forget to.
Thank God. Thank God one of us is writing things down.
Well, you shouldn't have to, look. You shouldn't have to do any of the heavy lifting. You're the guest. You're the guest of honor. So it's all good. I got you.
No, but so I was doing the shows, the fun shows. And then I was writing. I was doing some co-writes with people. I love to co-write. And those songs have all types of goals, or maybe no goals. Maybe they're for me, maybe they're for someone else, maybe they're, not going to go anywhere. I was learning production. What else was I doing? I know I was doing something.
There's just so many things that you do. That's a whole nother thing, though. Like, the hustle is like you really do have to have several avenues of income, because I just never can. You can never really rely on one single thing. It's like if you're an artist, like, you should definitely have your hand in a lot of different things that you can manage, of course. But so that's what you were doing. I mean, to the point where you can't really even remember what else you were doing.
No, I mean, it was so like running around, like a chicken with my head cut off. And so I really appreciated actually having to stop again and kind of reevaluate things. Yeah. Because I think it helped me. Well, first of all, I discovered streaming and Twitch, which has been awesome.
Right.
And I think that I've realized that doing all this stuff, is not sustainable to run around like a crazy person. There's better ways. There's more efficient ways to do things that are like better for your sanity. And maybe more impactful, to be honest. Like, I really appreciate the audience on Twitch and the community that's being cultivated, and just the way that you can interact with people in like kind of a closer, tighter knit group, and you'll have more of an opportunity to bond with people that are interested in what you're doing, because you can get to know them. I think at a show things are so fleeting. There's also kind of a pretense about live shows too. It's difficult sometimes to like have any type of interaction, really, because everybody's so busy. There's this one moment that you're off the stage and you're like, thanks so much for coming, and that's pretty much it. Unless it's it's one of those shows where people are kind of like interacting with you during the songs. But it's different. It's just different. And then also here in LA, and I don't know how it is in Ohio, but I imagine that there's a lot of similarities. It's like, if you want to do a show that's going to strategically put you in a place to grow your name as an artist, and not just the income shows, you really need to promote that show. Like, your life depended on it. You have to be so in the scene here. You have to go to all these people's shows. You got to do, it's basically like, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of like, I think a lot of artists get burnt out on that. They don't want to do it. They get tired of it. They're like, I'm tired of like kissing people's asses, so they're gonna come to my shows. I'm tired of my only fans being musicians. I'm tired. Like, I've heard the freaking gamut, and I think that's kind of why I went into more like, cover gigs and stuff, because I was like, I'm having a great time, and you know what I mean. This is work, and I'm having an awesome time.
Right.
So, I kind of was migrating more towards that way, and that kind of takes you out of the pursuing your artist path, because artists really gotta like do that bullshit. So I really appreciate now that you can perform online and you can network online, and it is like so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
It's so much easier. It's so much easier.
It's never been easier to support artists than it is right now.
No,
like, I love to see all you guys in your streams. I love to pop in. I can actually see like 5 people perform in a day, from huge artists to like my new friends. And, I can throw some bits. I can peace out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I can have a conversation. Like, this is just way better. And, like, it's just way more sustainable. And I just hope that we could just keep doing this forever.
Right. No, I feel you. And Reina made a really good point. It's like, how about people saying, I miss your voice? And it's like, really? Because I stream 3 days a week. I ain't seen your ass in chat. And it is true, man.
Yes.
And because like it's almost it's just as hard, not just as, because when you're asking people to come to your show, like you're asking them to set aside a night, you're asking them to, if they have to find a sitter or whatever it is, you know, you're asking them to physically come somewhere. This is like, all you have to do is click this link and you'll come right to my show. And all you got to do is sit there. You don't even have to you don't have to give me money. I'm just asking you to show up. And it seems to be almost as difficult as trying to get motherfuckers to come to your show IRL. So, you know, but that's the beautiful thing about Twitch is like, if you don't, I mean, the beautiful thing and the drawback is like people don't really know about Twitch, and they don't know, if you don't know the how communities work, and if you don't know how interaction works, and if you don't understand what's going on, it just looks like people are talking shit and people are performing and dancing and putting shit on their face, and you're just like, what is happening? This is insane. I'm out. But you know, if you actually, but when you have people who do know the system and they do, that's where the magic is, because once you get it, it's like, holy shit, I didn't, you know, it's just another world, just another realm, and I love it. We got another question from our Lord Bleeds. Dree, what is your favorite, most memorable Twitch moment to date?
Ooh. Well, I guess I got to talk about it. You know, I put stars on my face when I get a sub. I get star stickers. I don't know if I might change it up soon and find some other things to put on my face, but that's what she said.
Hey,
my little star stickers.
Hey-o.
And so I said, you know, I had a goal in August of reaching 200 subs for the entire month, and it was, you know, a big goal. I've never had that many, and I basically like said, okay, if I get this goal, from this point on, wherever I am in the night, whatever, you know, however many stickers I already have, I'm going to add 200 stickers to my face. And I got there because, you know, people want to see it.
That's it. I saw the pictures that Whispering Glitter took, by the way, which I'm just going to go ahead and do this.
Can you pull one up?
Yeah, can you pull up one?
Can you pull one up for people? No, honestly, like, it was very, like, I wanted to see it. So I'm really thankful that I got there, because I thought it was either going to look crazy, which it did, or cool. And so putting 200 stickers on my face took about, I want to say like 15 to 20 minutes to do. Yeah, it was really cool. So, and then I sang a bunch of songs with all these star stickers on my face.
Is it on your Instagram? Because I can pull it up. I can show. We'll show people what we're talking about. If you guys didn't see it, I didn't see it on your.
It is on my Instagram. It should be. Yeah, these on my Discord somewhere, but you may have to
do all the
search around.
So it's definitely not on your Facebook then, huh?
No.
Yeah, isn't it funny how fast you abandon Facebook and stuff once you get into the Twitch world?
Yeah, no, it's been hard to keep up with some of the other platforms, because I'm just like, I just want to be on Discord, you know, talking to people.
Right. Yeah. No, it's you know, Facebook has recently become a more of a testing ground for ideas that I want to sort of try out, and sort of a gauge of like certain topics, you know what I mean? And I mean, it's just a tire fire. I mean, anything you put up there that's that's any slightly political, it's just everybody has an opinion, and they're like assholes. They all stink. But what is it under? What category is that picture of? I'm really fixated on this now.
It should be in the general, and then it was last Friday. So if you just scroll up a little bit, it should be.
Scroll a little bit. We're gonna see Dree with her face full of shit. All right, here we go. You guys ready? We're gonna.
No, it's really true. Creative Mind says Facebook algorithm is for things that trigger emotions. Political stuff does that really well.
Yep.
I had recently
Absolutely.
posted something random that
Absolutely.
wasn't even political, but it was just like basically saying that people were talking shit to me about posting something, and it wasn't even on Facebook. And all of a sudden, like I got so many likes and comments, and when I post up like, oh, I got a new song coming out, it's like crickets.
Yeah, exactly,
cool.
exactly. Because they really do. So there you guys go. There's a cool view of her with some almost 200 stickers on her face, and oh my god, this is amazing. I'm looking at the one where you have the sunglasses on and you have like the boa on, the sparkle. And these are from Whispering Glitter, her our screenshot photographer, and Dree's as well. So all right, we're gonna come back to Dree.
Whispering Glitter, thank you for sharing that photo.
Glitter's the bomb. We love glitter. Yeah, no, Facebook is just zeroed in on just anything that creates any kind of well, I mean, they're trying to sell clicks, right? They're trying to get people to engage, and however you get them to engage, they just need you to engage. And unfortunately, it's turned into a sort of a business model rather than like an actual contribution to humanity. But you know, we live in a capitalistic society, which I'm not talking shit about capitalism, but it can get weird. It can get weird. What food? Thank you for the biddies, Lord Beads. I appreciate. Oh my god, thank you so much. 500 bid. Oh my god, you get. Hold on. What do you get? You get. Oh, that sucked. Hold on. Let me get you a better one.
I'm like, you get a sticker.
You get a sticker. You get. I wish I. Here. Yeah.
Yeah, we go.
You get Bernie on. You get Bernie right here. We have a question from Snoozeview. What food belongs in the trash, and why is it? Why is? Okay, let me try that again. What food belongs in the trash, and why is it coriander?
Okay, so I really like food. There's not a lot of food that I don't eat. I'm like, what don't I vibe with? Okay, so it's really healthy for you. I don't know if it belongs in the trash. It's really healthy for you. I just really don't like the taste. But liver.
Liver, yeah, that is healthy, isn't it? I recently found out that liver has like lots of iron, and
it's really good for you.
Yeah. You know what? When I was a kid, there used to be this like Greek diner that we used to go to called Jonathan's, and they had this dish called liver and onions, which is a very popular dish. I'm sure you've heard of it. I used to get that as a kid and love it, but somewhere along the line, liver got weird, and I don't know why it got. You know what I'm saying? Like mushy, and it's just. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say kale. I did too, Snooze Mew. I thought you was gonna say kale too, because I try to eat kale, but I refuse. I freaking refuse to eat it, like chew it up. I have to grind it into a smoothie. So like, and it's almost like that's the only way I can handle. I mean, I don't know if you ever tried this. Have you ever tried the not ketosis, but the what do you call that? Not the caveman diet, but the really popular paleo or keto. Yeah, I did keto for a really long time, and so I was only eating salads and meat the whole time. And oh my god, like I got so sick of salads and meat. Then when I transitioned back into carbohydrates, I just couldn't eat just salad. So now I have to, like, sometimes I love salad because salad is amazing, and I don't want to sound like a degenerate here, but but for the most part, my leafy greens go into a smoothie, and fuck it, I'm not tasting it. I'm over it. Dree, I am the biggest record producer in the world. You have 1 minute to promote yourself to get signed to a huge contract, and go.
All right. My name is DreeMon. I encourage you to follow your dreams. I have orange hair. I put stickers on my face. I don't take no shit. I've been around the block, so I have a good work ethic. Also, my music rocks.
Also, my music rocks. Your creative minds. What? Oh my God, what happened? Sorry, I'm things are.
Sorry, that wasn't a very serious answer.
No,
I'm
no, it wasn't,
curious
but that's okay. I
about
mean, it seemed like kind of a funny.
answer.
It was a funny question too, so you got a funny answer. I used to make chicken and letter with olives and a food processor, and it's great. That sounds interesting. Is it like a pate or something? Is that what they call that? Is that like pate? Because I've definitely like
Okay, wait.
spread.
I can fucks with pate though.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I like pate. So like, yeah, I mean that's okay. Like, but when you say like I used to make chicken liver with olives in a food processor, that sounds so fucking gross. But I think that's pate. We might be a little wrong with that, but that sounds delicious to me. I know Reina says. I know Reina does not like olives. I don't know about. Lord bleeds through up his mouth. Hi, I'm Snooze. I am adorable and talented, but I don't want to get tied down and mistreated by a major label contract. Well, go fuck yourself, Snooze.
I'm dying right now. That was so good news.
If you want that contract, you better learn to say yes. I don't know what that means, but that was.
Also, I gotta stick up for olives. Olives are getting hated.
Olives are the shit, dude. Don't be hating on olives. Yo, olives are so good. I will eat just like like at Whole Foods they have the bar, the food bar and stuff. I will go drop like $10 on olives and fuck that shit up. I don't care. I love it. I loves it. Yes, contract daddy.
Fucking olive.
Fake and olive. Oh, fucking olive. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Reina. I appreciate it. So I am curious about. Well, you were even saying that before the pandemic, you're running around doing a bunch of, you're running around, especially when you're doing the gigs and the cover gigs. That's what me and Reina were doing. We were doing the cover gig, acoustic duo, and making our rounds. And the thing that I'm finding with a lot of people who came to Twitch from the live performing IRL life, they don't miss the toting of equipment. They don't miss the drunken, obnoxious conversations that you have with people who might be a little touchy. You know what I mean? Like, Reina being out with a woman, my wife, there's always like guys coming up to her like, hey, and they're drunk and even for me, because I play guitar, and so you get those guitar bros who are coming up to you like, dude, fucking shredder, and I appreciate it. I do. I fucking appreciate it anytime someone takes the time to approach me, because I know that's tough. First of all, for some, not when you're drunk. Most drunk people are like, I'm just gonna talk to him. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. And so when they approach you, that's how they approach you. Like, and you're like, oh, okay, buddy, just calm the fuck down, all right? Just take a few steps back, and let's try this again. We'll rewind it. But it's just those moments, and I've been getting, I can't imagine like playing a gig inside of a bar right now. With that kind of like with drunkards coming up to you and spitting, because drunk people don't care about masks, they don't care about social distance. They're just like, oh no. Every time they say a hard T or whatever, it just spit comes out and right into your fucking mouth, and you're going down. Anyway,
who knows who's right? I don't even know.
So what I was sort of saying was, hold on, that voice reminds me of a comedian. I forget the name. Found it. It was Jim Brewer. Oh yeah. I love Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer is a shit. That's a nice compliment. I appreciate it. I hope you don't think I was trying to bite on Jim Brewer though. No, I'm just kidding. I probably was. It's so hard to create new voices because everybody has a voice, right? Like, blah, blah, blah. If there's only so many voices, go. Anyways.
Like, man, I love you, man. Come on, man.
Hey, man. Fucking, I'm feeling irie, bro. Yeah. But the whole, like, not having to carry your equipment thing, and for us, it's even crazier because every 6 months out of the year, the earth decides it's trying to actively murder you with cold. So it's like every time you leave your house, fucking the earth and your environment is trying to like just freeze the life out of you. So you also have to contend with icy roads and driving, and then fucking packing your shit up at 2 in the morning, then driving home. It could be an hour to 3 hours, whatever it is. You get home and it's like 60 below zero. You have to fucking carry all your gear in because it's too cold to leave in the car because it'll fuck it up. And then you gotta lift that shit and fucking carry it in. And it's fucking 4 a.m. by the time you get to bed. It's insane. Twitch, I'm gonna turn on my computer. I'm gonna turn off my computer. Good night. I mean,
some knobs.
I don't know, man. Like, to me, it's just... Yeah, exactly. A little knob twist. Maybe you have, but on the other side of that, though, on the other side of all of that, tech. That is so frustrating. I have to go. Thanks, DreeMon and We Speak English for the interview. Sorry, Dree, for the tough questions. See you later. Hey, thanks, Lord Bleeds. Thanks for the biddy. I appreciate y'all coming in here and hanging out with us. You have a great rest of your day. I hope it goes swimmingly. Lord Bleeds, everybody. Let's give him a round of applause.
I love Lord
Lord
Bleeds.
Bleeds. Staying lit, staying fit. All right. But yeah, the aspect of like, but there is good parts about gigging out in real life too, right? Like it is fun, and I do miss that. Have you been enjoying doing the IRLs with the Twitch combo?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I think this is the thing. Going full time on Twitch takes time.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight, and it's a process, and so I, like Reina says, I want to go full time on Twitch. I love it. I feel the same way. That would be ideal for me at this point. Maybe with like some IRL stuff here and there, but the thing is, it's just those gigs like really do help, like money wise.
Yes,
so it's
they
really
do.
tough. It's tough, like. And it actually is hard to do both because you're singing a lot, and that sometimes it takes its toll, pretty quick. So, I can't cancel a real life gig. If I'm feeling like vocally tired, I can say, hey guys, I'm not going to do my stream tonight, and I can put my Twitch stream on hold. But when I have an IRL gig booked, it's like I got to make it work. So. That is kind of one of those things that I didn't miss at all, because I've already like experiencing that a bit, just kind of having to push through things in like suboptimal conditions. But
yeah,
I think the nice thing about the gigs now is that people know that we're in a pandemic, that you are a musician, you haven't had gigs, and I think I've noticed that people are a bit more generous, which is nice.
Yeah.
They seem to be a bit more appreciative of what you're doing as well. So I've had some cool ones, but it's they're still few and far between as as things are so different now.
Yeah. And in LA, I'm sure. Like, have they opened things up? I know they got outside patios, but are they opening anything up yet? Is anything? Oh.
Not really. I mean, they haven't really. I mean, so there's outside patios, which is basically what I've done. I've done outside patios. I'm outside. I'm far away from people, which is great.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be any closer.
Yeah, right.
Like, because at the same time, they're like, people wearing their masks for the most part, but if they're at their table, they're not, and so. You don't want to be like near their table, basically.
Stay away from the tables.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I had a conversation with somebody at their table, and I was kind of worried. I had my mask on, but it was after my last set, and I was like talking to them, and I was like, "This is so weird. This is like before."
Yeah.
but it's not, and I'm not probably being safe right now. And I gotta go.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it was like a weird moment. I was like, okay, cool, nice to meet you. Like I'll see
Yeah.
you on Instagram or something. Bye.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Dree, are you teaching right now?
Well, I have minimal students.
Mm,
I am looking for students, but I'm not focused. Teaching hasn't been like a main gig for me at any point. It's
mm.
something that I've done kind of here and there. So I'm totally open to teaching, but I just have a few students. Nothing really super regular.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, add that too. I mean, like, and that's another good example of like having many irons in the fire. It's like even though that's not like what you mainly do, and you have it here and there, it's still another source of income, and it's still another way of expression in some ways. And hell yeah, you gotta stay on top of it. Yeah, there's so much anxiety out there about playing in real life. Me and Reina have been very selective. And well, there's not really gigs, but we've been getting asked, and we're doing charity gigs because I don't think bar gigs are safe right now. I don't even want to do outdoor patios, but like if the work's there, we'll get there. But we're not even there, so like there's not really work. So we've been having these charity gigs pop up, and that's been really nice. Honestly, it's been like in the last 6 months, we've played like maybe 2, 3 like gigs for charity, different charities and stuff around town, and it is nice. And like the big difference between the charity stuff and the bars is obvious. Is like Dree teaches you, yeah, whispering glitter, that's tight. Meh, I could do without. Yeah, yeah. Reina's over it. Reina is totally ready to just give up on all of it. But in any case, it is nice to get out there, and like when you are playing for people, like you do see this appreciation, this in real life. You do see
Yeah.
this like super appreciative, like, oh my god, like we're singing music in real life now. Like it's really interesting that like that's like sort of like a hot commodity in a way, like how people like value it more now as opposed to
Yes.
before when they were just ignoring you, hoping that you would turn down a little so they can laugh about their stupid jokes they're telling each other. So
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I definitely see a difference. I'm
mm,
noticing a difference. I
yeah.
think people are, like, you know, physically and verbally more generous with how they're interacting with me at the gigs, and it's cool because um we've kind of like had to go through this retraining process with people,
Yeah.
like with everything from the masks to staying 6 feet apart to to how you handle transactions like with cash versus Venmo or something where it's a cashless thing where you're not touching you
Yeah.
know dirty money, or you know what I mean. So it's like there's been all this stuff going on,
Right.
right? That you're now like you've been going through this conditioning. Some people may not have been going through it, but a
Right.
lot of us have. And so when you get to that point where you're
Right.
acting in a situation, people are acting right. Like I'm not going to say everyone is, but I feel like I've noticed people acting right, and I appreciate it. So maybe I've just been lucky. It's only been a handful of experiences. It might be too soon to tell, but
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I wish that would have stayed more in the milieu, in the zeitgeist of the world at large. Is when the pandemic hit, there was this sense of unity, socially distanced unity, and like it was before things got political, and it was before things turned into this. There was this thing that I was really hoping that sustained, but quickly went away. But there is still that, and there's still people out there who do want to help, and who are supporting, and I mean, anybody in chat right now, I consider supporting. So like that's
Yeah.
it's just different. It's a different thing with So with Twitch, when you first came on, what were some of the challenges you were sort of finding?
Oh man. Well, I mean, technical challenges abound. That was just kind of a nightmare. But thankfully, I have Creative Minds was very helpful and
Mm,
helped me out with a lot of the sound stuff. It did take some time though. It took time. It took troubleshooting. It took like me investing in gear that I didn't have. I mean, that was a whole thing too. I wasn't
Yeah.
set up for
Yeah.
live streaming at all.
What did you
Nothing.
did you have a MacBook or something? Is that what you had?
Well, I have a MacBook, and it's actually good. It's from last year. It's from 2019, but
Right. It's probably nice.
I
It was you probably had it for music production and stuff, right?
yeah, I had it from. That's why I got it. I got it to be my music production computer, and I have like an older MacBook that's kind of it like plays with being on its last leg, like basically every other week. And it's like from 2013. So I knew I wasn't going to stream on that. And that's just kind of like my in general computer. And then this one was just going to literally have only production stuff and nothing else. And as soon as I start going, like I remember I was talking to Creative Minds and he's like, oh, you have to like upload something here. And I was like, upload? I don't have anything on this computer. Like this computer has nothing on it. I don't want anything on this computer. Right. Now it has a bunch of stuff on it.
Tons and tons of stuff, and you're just making compromise after compromise. Well, it's like, oh, I guess I gotta do this if I want to do things. No, I'm
gonna download this DMG, like all this stuff. I'm like, I don't want another DMG. Like, I don't want Zoom. I don't want like, any of that. But here it is, and I've got it, and I'm streaming, and it's great. So
that hey, do you mind doing the camera thing one more time? Just see if that helps you come back to life.
Sure. I know what happened.
And there she is. Through the power of technology, DreeMon emerges.
Yeah.
Emergence. Oh my gosh. I tried doing something stupid. Emergence.
You guys see me?
Yeah, we see you. The Twitch, that technical side of it, that was something that still is very frustrating. How tech savvy were you before you went into this? I mean, you obviously knew how to do music production a bit and stuff like that, but how much of that transferred? I know you said Creative Minds had a big part in helping you with all this, but I mean, going into it, how much knowledge did you have about this kind of stuff?
I mean, I'd say on a scale from like 1 to 10, I'd say like a -3.
Tight. So you're starting from scratch. Wow. Below scratch. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know. Like, somebody told me to get like an iRig and enjoy my life. That was really bad advice. Please never use that interface ever.
Oh man, you know what? That's funny. That's what we were using for a little bit. We were using it, but it was like an iRig that was like, but it's for like it's a single input, and it just sounded terrible. Like it just couldn't handle the power,
Can't handle. Yeah, it kept like breaking and just like. Anyway, it was, and I knew better too from production. It's just I didn't want to spend the money because we just got in a pandemic.
Yes.
Don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, yeah, and like you said, Twitch is sort of this thing that you build upon. So like when you're investing in all this stuff, you're investing on a maybe, on a hopefully, on a like, okay, I hope this works. But again, this is something that we're kind of used to in a sense, right? And I'm sure that sort of informed your decision to sort of move forward as far as you did because you saw potential. You're like, I think this could be something. And then you sort of start investing in yourself and like, okay, fuck it, we're doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, I had a little bit of that, I would say, it's hard to remember now, but I want to say at least a month where, I really didn't know much about Twitch. So, that was like the first, you think if you're going to go into something, you might want to like research or, try to see what you're getting involved with. I kind of just was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to stream on Twitch, like just like any other platform. Right. I had no idea that it's not at all like any other place.
Right.
So it kind of just took me like a while of floundering and just kind of getting my head out of my ass and going like, okay, this is what this is. and then getting some help to understand more of the technical stuff.
did you have like a aha moment with Twitch, just with like understanding how it works and stuff? Was there a moment where you're just like, oh, I get it? Or I mean, like obviously there was, but like, do you remember it? Was it a profound thing, or is it just something you learned over time?
I think it was just like little moments over time.
Yeah,
You know, I
I think
think,
you have to do it like that, right?
yeah. I don't know, like, you know, you guys are so good with like doing fun things like challenges and like, you know, raffles and stuff like that. You know, that stuff is still like kind of difficult for me,
Yeah.
and some of the overlay stuff is really hard. Um, you know, I'm not there yet, you know, but I will say that, like, you know, a couple weeks ago, I was looking at Streamlabs and I was kind of, you know, looking around and I created something in there and I was like, oh, okay, like I couldn't have done this before, you know,
Right.
and it actually that hard. I had to watch like a tutorial video and I had to just, you know, so I think it's more just like, for me, it's just fighting with myself of the desire to like do that work and not just assume that it's either too hard and I can't do it, or that it's so easy that I don't have to put any work into it, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, I do.
That balance.
But I mean, and like to add to that is like you. There's only so much your brain can sort of handle, right? Like you can only input so much before your brain
Yeah.
just melts, and yeah. So it's like I think one of the things that we learned early on, especially Reina, she picked up on very quickly was um, when it comes to building your rig and when it comes to building your community, when you come, everything should be taken at a slow pace, not super slow, but like at a pace that you can handle, because it quickly becomes overwhelming. um, like you said, you know, a month ago, setting something up in Streamlabs, you know, is like, what? Ah! But now you're like, okay, I can watch a video. Oh, I get what he's saying. I mean, because it's literally you're learning a whole new vocabulary. You're learning a whole, you know, like you're getting your like masters in IT and fucking, and still you're building. You have to have your core set of music or whatever you're doing. You have that, but
Yeah.
one somebody who reiterated that, who made a really fantastic video, which I suggest anybody who's looking to stream to go watch, is Leon Bratt, fantastic streamer. um, he has a YouTube channel and he has this really good video. I thought it was really good and concise and to the point. It's like 18 steps to building a audience on Twitch or something. It's one of those like you know, growth and, you know, how-to videos. But oh my god, one of the things that really pointed out, what really stood out to me and that I totally resonated with, is like every time you stream, improve it by at least 1%, just by take one little step, no matter what it is. Every stream, do some, you know, add to it 1% and build upon it and build, you know. And it doesn't have to be this this race to the finish, because in some ways, well, especially for you, when you start this, because I've been in your streams and you guys get wild. I love it. And you're dancing, you got shit on your face, it's tight. You know, like you don't know what you're gonna even be doing. Like you don't know, like as your community builds, you don't even know, you know, like they sort of inform you on what we're doing, you
Yes.
know, like so you can bring ideas to the table and you can try them, but it's like, how, does it resonate? Is it working? Is it happening? How long did that take you to sort of start figuring out how to, you know, keep it more engaging and stuff? Like when did it start dawning on you, and like what was it that sort of pushed you into that?
I think it's just, you know, watching other streamers and getting inspired.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was watching like Andy the Frenchie, or the French, and her stuff was really engaging and like silly, and I was like, yeah, that's me pretty much, you know. And I was like, how do I put my own version of this into play? And like, you know, I'm super inspired by Reina as well and love watching her streams, and all the fun stuff that she does. So I think it's just, you know, it's being part of the community and just kind of seeing like what's working for people, or what did you really enjoy about someone's stream?
Mm,
And then kind of thinking like how, how can you incorporate that to make it your own,
yeah.
so that was probably, just kind of watching other people and going like, oh, that's really great. Like
Yeah.
I want to borrow this, and
Totally. Andy Frenchie is amazing, by the way. But yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, the one thing I'm trying to get certain friends to get on Twitch, and like, I don't know I don't know if you've had this moment, but you like, I think you'd be great on Twitch, and they're just like, what's this? What are you talking about? Oh no, I'm gonna wait for the gigs to come back, or nah, whatever it is. And it's like I keep telling my friends, and it's like, you need to get on Twitch, but I mainly tell them it's like you should just create a profile, and you should just go hang out in chats and go
yeah,
like talk to people, and go like engage before you even think about streaming. Go and sort of try to wrap your head around what it is, because I feel like if you don't like hanging out in chats, and if you don't like the format, you're
yeah,
probably not gonna like streaming either. It's like it just doesn't seem.
exactly.
But but it does seem like there's a lot of musicians out there who are showing a lot of resistance, and I keep fucking up their ass, and they're still like humping the Facebook Live thing. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you dry humping the shit out of Facebook Live when you know those donations dried up months ago? All right, calm down. It's
Yeah,
but
I know, I know.
but to me, when I see my friends doing that, um, I'm like, dude, you're honestly, because they'll do the same thing that you would do on Twitch, right? They're sitting there and they're trying to interact, and okay, hi Vanessa, thanks for hanging out. This is my next song. And at the beginning of the pandemic, it was like everybody was like, yeah, it was awesome. Like it was just gold out there. People were paying rent. Like I know several musicians who fucking in two streams, had their rent and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook does suck for live. Facebook Live is super garbage. But they're trying to do something with the video games or something. But it's just that the culture is not there, right? Like that was never the culture. But it's like when I'm trying to tell people, it's like get on Twitch, like do what you're doing, but do it on Twitch, but do it better for Twitch, like because. You see people with their phone up there, and they're just like, and they're playing, and they're still doing the same thing, and
I think you can do both if
right.
you have, different purposes. Like this is the
Mm-hmm.
thing. I've brought new people over to Twitch, audience wise. Every now and then you'll see, I'll be like, oh, this person's new on Twitch. This is my friend, you know. And the thing is, they might hang out for a while. They may even come back one more time. But no, it's really not stuck for anyone that I've invited.
Mm-hmm.
They may have thrown a biddy or two, but then they're literally out. Like they're just like, I can't do it. Even though everyone's so nice to them. Welcome in. Hey, you're here, but and they're still just like, they're not there. So that's okay, but if you have a wide audience, there's other streamers that have huge audiences on Facebook. They have huge audiences on Periscope.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to like ignore those audiences.
Right.
And even if you don't have a huge one, but you're working on something, I think it's okay to like, stick on it, but definitely do both. Like don't ignore Twitch, because Twitch is the best.
Well, yeah, and like it is literally made for that. I mean, it's literally made for that. Facebook is not made for that. Facebook Live was just so you could be at the beach and show your friends how cool you are at the beach, like and like it never was fostering engagement. It was never fostering anything. And of course there are people out there who are doing just fine on Facebook or Periscope, and they're like, you know what? This is working for me. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, like if you had success at the beginning of the pandemic because people felt sorry for your ass, and now you don't have that, maybe it's time to think about switching. Switching it up.
No, I agree. I agree with you. And I think that it's good that that we're here and we're on Twitch. And I feel very fortunate to have gotten into Twitch when I did, because I know it's only going to get more and more popular. And so I don't think I need to push anyone to do anything that they don't want to do. It's like TikTok, it's like, you don't want to do it, don't do it. But it's like, if you did get in the beginning, like you're happy right now, you're smiling. You know what I mean? You
Right.
You've
Yeah.
got a lot of fans. You got more fans on TikTok than you had anywhere else in your life. You're probably making some money. You
Mm.
know what I mean? So like honestly, it's like you I think we just do us.
Mhm.
It's gonna get more popular regardless of how many people we bring in. If Twitch wants to give me some money to bring in new people, I'm down to do that.
Hell
But if
yeah. Hell yeah.
no, I'm cool just being here with us, with our community, and you know what I mean? Like whoever wants to join, cool. Like I'm
Right.
not forcing anybody to come and get this money. That's on them.
Yeah. I'm not forcing anybody to come and get this money. Somebody come get this money. Uh,
No.
no, no, yeah, man. It's a, I don't, it's like, I just, with the resistance people give you, I went through this with the podcast because I've been doing the podcast for 5 years, and then this sort of is blending the podcast because this is going to be a audio version as well. It'll come out in a couple weeks and have a totally different reception and a totally different audience. And it's like, like a podcast episode will get a few thousand downloads, but not one of them listeners are on Twitch. They're just not making it. And so like it's weird that these different platforms don't necessarily, overlap, like they don't like who's on Twitch, who's one of the famous people, like, Questlove Questlove obviously is going to have a following and stuff. But what I love
Yeah.
about like these famous people coming to Twitch is that they still have the same awful the same tech issues as everyone else, right? It's the great
Yes.
equalizer. It's the great
Yeah.
fucking like it doesn't matter. Like Questlove could have all the people in the world in his chat, but he's still like having drop frames and he's still going like what the fuck, and then it goes offline, and it's like, to me, I love that aspect about Twitch. It's sort of this equalizer that you sort of have to earn your spot in this, and still have to earn a spot, even if you are coming in with with your own audience. But back to like sort of on the growth of Twitch is like when I talked to people 5 years ago. Hi, human race. Thanks for stopping in, man. No problem. Don't worry about it, baby. It's all good. You're here now. Um, this is why sound, video, text need more love. Yeah, I feel you there. The behind the scenes people need more love for sure. But 5 years ago when I started the podcast, nobody knew what a podcast was. Like Joe Rogan was just sort of starting to put the name of a podcast on the map, and there was a few podcasts that were somewhat popular, but no one knew. And so like I just chugged away at it, and 5 years later I have like a little audience, and that's nice, and it's growing, and I love that, and I'll forever be grateful for podcasting. But I see that in the same way with Twitch. Why do you think Twitch is gonna keep growing? I'm just curious on why you think it is.
Well, from what I've seen, it's kind of it's on the forefront of like this interaction, but it's really by the book compared to a lot of other apps as well. Like I think there might be other apps that have interaction and stuff, and I also play on another app called Sessions Live once in a while, and there's other things from other countries and things like that. But the thing is, it's really like it's got a ton of great ways to level up. An audience can level up, a musician can level up. You're always working towards something, always working towards a goal.
Yeah.
It's got this like this community based vibe that I feel like no other apps really have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all of that is a winning formula, and it's something new, it's fresh, and it's kind of exclusive in a way because you do have to kind of like wrap your head around it. You have to be willing to go there,
Right.
to be a part of it and to reap that reward of, being in it. So I think it has all the, marketing wise, and I think it has all the goods to sustain.
Yeah, totally. I see that because Twitch has this very unique community based thing. I do see it growing on that, and then when you also see how Twitch is actively bringing, famous people like the dude from Linkin Park and Logic and Questlove and there, there's a bunch of new celebrities coming over and figuring. I mean, I just found out today that Donald Trump had a Twitch page. I had no idea. I think he's partnered too. So it's just like, but it's but yeah, I mean, you see how it's growing as a platform, and of course the pandemic sort of exacerbated that, right? Like I think it grew. What was it? It was like 300%. It's been insane. Like quarter one, it grew by like 50%, and then by quarter two, it's grown like, and now here we are, and it's getting out of control. The musicians category has blown the shit up, and everybody you see who sort of had their foot in the door before the pandemic, they're doing real good, right? Like they're like, I think the Fantastic Plastics are probably one of the best examples on Twitch of this, and especially as a band like them who are sort of they were sort of disenfranchised by the okay, yeah. Okay, we'll wrap. They sort of became disenfranchised by Jesus Christ. What was I talking about? I saw that message and I didn't want to. I got distracted.
People doing well who were streaming before the pandemic.
Yes. Well, the Fantastic Plastics are a great example of that because they were they were already on the grow. They were disenfranchised with touring, with playing live gigs. They were working their ass off for 10 years, and then they sort of found this home on Twitch. And then once the pandemic hit, they were already doing well, and now they're just like, they're just blowing up, and it's really, I mean, it's really a platform that I look forward to growing in because there is a possibility for real growth, as opposed to like these other platforms that are sort of, overran with everybody. Everybody's. I feel like the algorithm on this is a little bit more fair and skewed in our favor. But Dree, wrapping up here, what are your plans with music? What are you trying to? What are you doing next besides growing your Twitch?
Yeah. I mean, Twitch has just become such a big part of things, and I'm so excited for the potential growth that it has. And like you said, other apps I haven't seen that same growth. I see it's kind of stagnant.
Yeah.
And so definitely want to keep growing my Twitch, and maybe I'll start a Patreon. But I'm working on my next single. It's I don't know exactly when it's going to come out, but I just sent it to mastering, and I got a really awesome person to do it, and I'm so stoked. It's sounding so good. So I'm still working on my own music, and hopefully going to be releasing a lot more music a lot more frequently. And I'm singing on people's stuff as well. I'm demoing vocals now, which is something I didn't do from home before.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for people to write with. If you are an artist and you want some good songs, you want to co-write, like I'm doing that. And just gonna keep building, keep doing my shows, and see where this crazy world takes me. Beautiful.
Dree, I know you gotta go. I know you got about 5 minutes. I'm gonna hold you to that 5 minutes. Can we play at least one round of How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist? It's a quick game.
Yeah.
I promise I'll get you out of here by 2:15.
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, so it's only because I forgot to do it last time and people were angry, so I got to make up for sucking at it last time. Okay, let me. I'm gonna figure this real quick. I'm going to. Oh, there it is. So I'm gonna share the screen with you, Dree, so you can see what's going on. And then there you go. Oh, what happened? Oh, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, it's insane. Hold on. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So this is how much does it cost on Craigslist? It's a
Okay.
pretty simple game. All you got to do, it's like The Price is Right, but you can go over. So it's whoever is closest, and whoever is closest to guessing how much the item is. And I'll read the description, and we'll put the prices in chat, and we can win one of these awesome patches. This is First Responder, Wu Tang, When Nature Calls, Jim Carrey from Ace Ventura, and Bernie Sanders. That's what's up for grabs today. So let's get into it. So our first item up for bid is the Italian church bench, antique 18th century. Where is this from? I don't know where it's from. Solid antique bench from an Italian church.
Ooh, what
Ram heads, arms, intricate carvings. That I had to read it. I couldn't even see it. Can you guys see it? I don't know if you guys can see it very well. Oh my god, I did. Can you see it okay? Okay, so all right guys, drop human race goes 3,000. You guys start dropping your bids in the chat, and Dree, how about we'll start with you first. How much do you think that this Italian church bench antique 18th century piece cost on Craigslist?
Gosh, because it's Craigslist. That's the problem. So I was gonna say like 15,000.
Okay, so Dree's going 15,000. All right, guys, drop your bids in the chat. I'll give you guys a few seconds. I'm gonna try to figure out how to zoom in on this so you guys can see a little bit bigger of a picture. But oh golly, I didn't do that. That's not good. Oh, okay. Well, sorry guys, I tried harder. Hold on. Oh, I know what I can do. All right, guys, drop your bids in the chat. Why I do this real quick. All right, this should help a little. All right, it's okay. So there you go, guys. I'm gonna cut it off because we have a limited amount of time, and I want to do one more round with our guest today. So we got. I'm sorry, Dree. What did you said? 15,000 for Dree. Okay, 15,000 for Dree. All right, guys. Actual retail price on Craigslist, 11,500. Oh damn, Dree, you got it. You got it.
What? I think Whispering Glitter is closer.
What is that? What did Whispering Glitter said 1,200. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
very cute.
my bad. I added extra zero in there.
Yeah, you got 15,000. You won. So Dree, just you can pick one of these patches, and I'll show you before you go. But it's the Wu Tang, or Jim Carrey, or Bernie Sanders, and I'll send it out. Just send me your address or a PO box, whatever you want, and I will send it out to you. That was our guest today who won. Let's do one more, guys, and then we got to let her go because she has to do things, and she's a busy lady. Okay, we're going to go with this one. Gotham City. It's a painting. How much does this paint? It's James Enders, pop artist. I don't know who James Enders is, but it's from 2011. So if you guys want to drop your bids in the chat, and we will try to see if we can get someone win another patch. So, Dree, I'm going to start with you. How much do you think this painting on Craigslist costs?
I'm gonna go with 2,000.
Oh, I feel like you're close actually, but I shouldn't say that because I have no idea what. It honestly looks like a 3-year-old painted this, so I don't know. I'm a terrible judge at art, by the way. This could be like millions of dollars. $75, right? Okay. All right, guys. Go ahead, drop it in. I will give you a few more seconds here, just to let it go, let it sink in here. 2,000 for Dree, thank you. 209. Oh, Whispering Glitter 209. Mighty 2,500. All right, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, y'all. I'm gonna do an air raid. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. All right, we're gonna do it. Actual retail price on Craigslist. $2,600. My goodness, mighty, mighty. I think you won. 2,500. Yeah, mighty, mighty. You have won a patch. Congratulations. Congratulations. Word. Dree, let me bring Dree back on real quick before we say goodbye, because I want to make sure that we have a proper goodbye here. So let's bring Dree back on. And oh my,
Fun.
All right, Dree, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you coming on the show and, being, doing your thing with us. And I really look forward to seeing your streams in the future. And I would love to hear some new music. So
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And if you guys are interested, I'm streaming tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
PST.
And I'm usually on Friday and Sunday.
And let's party.
Yeah. And let's party. And if you guys want to check out my music as well, I have a link I can post or whatnot. Check me out on Spotify. And, if you follow me, then you'll be privy to the new single when it comes out.
Hell yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Bam. All right, Dree, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful afternoon. It's afternoon for you. It's about evening for me. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tonight in the stream.
Thank you so much. That was so fun.
Oh, well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yes, it was so great.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, Dree, maybe you come back on when you release a new song or something. We'll chat it out.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right, DreeMon, give her a round of applause. Fresh. All right.